Hello, hello, and Happy New Year, everybody. It me, Bakey, back again, or whatever. And, I apologize for not getting a video out last week. I just, didn't think about it till, I don't know, this past, Monday. And I was like, you know what? I forgot to do a video. I was just so caught up with the holidays and everything, and, I apologize for that, but, I think it was a deserved break. I mean, it's been just a long year. It's been a rough year. And you know what? It's been a thing, and that's all right. Now, I was humming and hawing, trying to figure out what I wanted to do for this one today, and I think what we're gonna do, I want to talk about some highlights of the channel as of 2025, and then talk about some goals for 2026. So, starting off, 51 videos under our belt, and that is awesome. That is genuinely, I think, pretty decent, all things considered, because that is, I didn't start exactly when I wanted to. Looking at my reports, my first video wasn't published till March 15th, so I was a few months, behind. But there are only 52 weeks in a year, so the fact that I was able to put out 51 videos, obviously this is coming out in 2026, but hey, you get the point. The fact that we made 50 within a 52-week year, I'd say is pretty good. And that's it's not nothing to snuff at, but so 51 videos now, feeling pretty good. I would like to say the most viewed videos I have, from third to first place, would be me talking about Mario. Oh yeah, the Mario Day and the Pokemon Presents, and that was our very first episode. That one did not too shabby, 31 views. I would say that's not terrible. And then Karting and Farting, my thoughts on the Mario Kart World Direct, which did 52 views, quite the jump up. And well, it was, I don't want to say clickbaity, but it was definitely one of those things where it was a popular topic. However, I think my biggest thing at 56 views was my problem with Pocket Monsters, and I'm pretty sure I just bitched about Pokemon, to be honest. I don't really even remember making that video. I don't remember making a lot of these, to be honest with you. They come, they go. But, so we have a top viewed video. It's 56 views. It has a like. You know what? We will take that. We also, 6 subscribers. They're new and they're, precious, every single one of them, and that's huge, I think, for, being a new channel that has never been in the spotlight and on average doesn't do too hot. I would say we're doing all right. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm doing this for fun. I don't want this to be a career. I don't want this to be anything huge. I wanted to get back into it. That was my goal for 2025, was to get back into doing YouTube, and I did that. So I'm pretty proud. So that's cool. I don't really have any other metrics there that I want to talk about, and I think overall, I think seeing the growth of the channel's been good. I obviously, if you're watching this, you're seeing that I'm a little moving guy on a screen, and I'm sure the background's stagnant, not doing a whole lot, but you know what? It is more than we were doing, because if you go back, I think, a couple months ago, it was just a PNG with my voice, and that's it. And it was just, I liked the mixing bowl. I liked what was going on. I liked where it started, but I think I like the Bakey model. I think I'll definitely continue using it, although I do want to maybe do some refinements. That I think for overall for 2025, I think this has been a huge success, and I look forward to continuing on. But yeah, so I guess at this point I should just talk about my goals. So for 2026, I think, like I said, I definitely want to redo the Bakey model. He's not terrible. It's just when I have to, I don't want to even say have to, when I want to make other versions of him. Because, obviously I have the default, the angry, the sad, the goofy. I also have the Austin powers, or I think I call them autism powers, for the Halloween episode. And, apparently I didn't set a code for Santa Bakey. But anyways, you know, so doing those ones, it's like it's time consuming. I use Paint 3D because I don't know how to use any other software. Which I probably should. I probably should start learning how to use like GIMP or something. You know, I think I want to update the model. I want to get a little bit more robust because you know, the arms crossed is fine and stuff, but I'd like something maybe a little bit more posable, a little bit more controllable. And that's just for the sake of the thumbnails, I think, because, you know, stealing PNGs from Google, typing in, you know, like free arcade or whatever, and then just doing what I can. Yeah, it works, but I think we could do better. So that's definitely an improvement I'd like to do. I would like to get back to doing more guest shows. It's just these last few months it's just been hard to like get people together and also plan things and do things because just how things are. And, you know, I'm also trying to like take care of myself and do the things I like to do. I mean, not saying I don't like doing this, but you know, there's other things I'd like to do, and well, you know, it's hard to balance those, but you know, we get there. We'll hopefully get there. As far as the content goes, I would like to continue to do the once a week, every week for the year. You know, we're able. I might try to take some breaks here and there. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's not like it's hurting anybody. We don't get viewed a lot. If you are listening to this or watching, I do thank you genuinely, but I can look at the numbers. I mean, I've got a number of videos that have literally no views, no likes, no nothing. And I mean, nothing gets likes, but that's beside the point. We do okay. So yeah, Bakey model update, leave the formatting the same. I would like to introduce a new segment, I think. So I'm not a resolution guy, but I do come up with ideas of things I'd like to attain, I guess just goals for the year. You know, like last year, for me personally, it was, well, started a YouTube channel again. It was, you know, start dating again. It was find a house. You know, stuff like that. I'm not going to say they're all successful. I mean, clearly you know which one of those is legit. You don't know about the other ones, and that's fine. But it's one of those things where it's like I like to set goals, and I think for this channel, I can use it as a platform to kind of help with those goals and kind of, you know, if you've been watching my Pokemon challenge on Blue Sky, I don't post regularly, but that's its own issues. I like to do it to keep myself accountable, and I think part of that this year is I would like to try to read more. I believe I've said in a previous episode, reading was cool for like a very small part of my life, and it was basically middle school. So like 3-ish years where it was like, you know what? Reading is pretty tight. But then high school and college just kind of took that from me, and then I just couldn't. Like I try to read and I just can't. But it's been so long, I'm thinking, you know what? Let's just give it a try, you know? Let's do it again. And part of that, and this is what I'm thinking for this channel, I kind of want to do a book club. Now, if you're here listening to this, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. But tentatively, I think what I'll do is, once I do decide to do this, I will announce the book. And, you know, I'll say I'm going to read this book. You know, let's just use an example. Charlotte's Web. It's not necessarily what we'll be doing, but let's just say it was Charlotte's Web. And I'd say, like, I'm going to read the first 3 chapters. Then whatever the schedule looks like, I mean, maybe Tuesdays or Wednesdays, we'll see what I'm feeling and what works out, or maybe just whatever, but maybe not even weekly. Maybe it'll be every 2 weeks. We'll see. I will provide an update on what I was able to read, assuming it was at least what I said I would do. And then I just talk about what I read. And maybe we can have an open forum and a discussion in the comments. This is my goal, to be able to both read more, also maybe to correct some speech issues, because I have some tics, I have some stutters, I have some problems, and I think they've just been getting worse over the years, so I'm hoping maybe reading more and listening to the voice in my head have to actually, you know, go through something very structured will help. So we'll see. We'll try it. And even if the like video part doesn't work, or I just want to give up on that, at least I'll try to continue to read. Maybe I'll at least post about it or something. Like I said, I don't do it for the attention. I'm just trying to do it for accountability's sake, because then I can at least point back and be like, there's your proof. I did do it. Maybe not perfectly or to the fullest, but I tried. And, I think that's all we can ask ourselves is, just to try. I think that's about it for the channel. I mean, I in theory would like to maybe start streaming, but I think I have a goal this year personally. I would like to get a house. If I can get a house, I think I would start streaming more. I think I could start doing, stuff like that. I think that would be really cool to be able to engage with the community, or at least get even more people in on it. And, just throwing this out there, if the party games and the click and whatever adventures games with the fellas, maybe we could do one live. I think that would be kind of cool. But, that's all just, it's dependent on a number of things, and we'll get there. I mean, it's only, it's like the third day of the month. It's fine. We just started this year. I think expectations are a little too high, but hopefully they'll be refined. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I think that's about gonna do her for this one. I probably forgot some stuff, and I mean, obviously I said way early on, I was gonna start script writing, and that went to hell pretty quick. But it's gonna be what's gonna be, and it's nice. This was a nice year, I think, to do this, I should say. And hopefully I can start generating better content or something. But hey, until then, yeah, I don't have a snappy remark. It's just, have a good day, have a good night whenever you're listening to this, Hell, replay this part if you just need that motivation, You're doing good, and, just keep trying to do good, or whatever. I don't know. Where's the end button? Damn.